the Chiefs beat the Titans 20-17, and it was an entertaining Sunday night football game. And from this game, I feel like there's a couple questions we can ask. One from the Titans is this offense just way too limited to trust them in the playoffs and to trust that they can win multiple playoff games? Because the Titans have been in the playoffs for multiple years. That's not the question with them. The question is, can they take that next step? Is this offense way too limited for them to do that? And number two is the Chiefs. I feel like for the first time in the season, it felt like they kind of missed Tyreek Hill in the offense. Mahomes had to drop back 78 times and still got it done because he's Patrick Mahomes. But we'll start off with the Titans and answering that question. What do you think, Dehls?
The Titans, Drew, you tweeted out the night of the game. Mike Vrabel is, without a doubt, a top 5 coach in this league. It's baffling how this was even a game, right? I don't know how this game was entertaining. The Titans were on the road, backup quarterback. Chiefs had double the amount of yards. The Titans only had 9 first downs. Chiefs had 29. Chiefs had 41 minutes possession. The Titans 26. The Titans were 1 for 11 on third down. They had absolutely no business being in this game, let alone take it to overtime. Offensively, it was a Derrick Henry show. That's what we're expecting week in and week out, especially without Ryan Tannehill, who I think seems close to returning. He was a game-time decision on Sunday night, so I would expect him to come back either this week or possibly the week after. And defensively, the Titans did what you have to do against Mahomes. You can't blitz Mahomes. He's way too good against the blitz. For the most part of the game, they rushed 4, played man, and for the most part, they did a pretty good job. Mahomes ended up having, 400 yards, but he passed the ball 68 times, third most in NFL history. And it was working for Tennessee, who, coming into the season, we didn't think had the greatest roster on paper. But again, credit to Vrabel being able to coach up those guys. Derrick Henry, phenomenal at football. Malik Willis, he's got a long way to go. Coming into the draft process, into the regular season, I know there was speculation around, can he start over Tannehill? I think Tannehill's job has never been safer. Malik Willis, you could tell this coaching staff, it's very much so how Justin Fields was treated the first couple of games. You just can't screw the game up. We have Derrick Henry back there. We have a good defense. We're going to hand the ball off to him. And Malik, he made a couple throws here or there, but for the most part, he looked really raw and frankly not ready to play quarterback at this level.
Really great throw to Okonkwo.
Yes.
That went for 55 yards.
Oh, the screen of the first play of the game? Yeah, great throw.
48.
The Chiefs, I think this just shows how hard it is to win the NFL, right? We saw the Bills lose. We saw the Eagles win an ugly game against the Texans. The Chiefs win an ugly game against the Titans. Week in and week out, it's very hard to consistently win when you have a 17-game regular season. And great teams like the Chiefs, like the Eagles, they end up finding ways to win games. The Chiefs, who were not by any means sharp, very similar to the Eagles against the Texans, they were not sharp by any means. It was probably the worst this offense has looked probably all season. Mahomes has been spectacular all year. For whatever reason, they completely abandoned the run. They dropped back on 85% of their snaps. They weren't successful running the ball. Patrick Mahomes was the leading rusher for them. But overall, they had 13 carries for 14 yards by guys not named Patrick Mahomes. That was with Clyde, Pacheco, McKinnon, those guys. But when you are dropping back 68 times, I feel like it really makes you obvious what you're going to do. And having Patrick Mahomes, it's nice having the best quarterback to make things obvious because he's going to be able to fix up a lot of things. But my biggest takeaway was the Chiefs are an elite team who could win ugly. Tennessee still has some time to go. Once Tannehill gets back there, without a doubt, a playoff team. I think that's their ceiling, though. I don't see them winning a playoff game. If right now the Jets and Tennessee match up in the playoffs, I would take the Jets. I think their offense can do more. I think defensively we're better. Of course, the Titans have a Derrick Henry, but I would still like the Jets. And if they're not beating the Jets in the playoffs, they're probably not beating any playoff team in the AFC right now. But these are two really well-coached teams, really two good organizations that year in and year out are always in the playoff hunt. But right now for Tennessee, they got to get Tannehill back. Treylon Burks is also available to come off IR this week. He'll be a huge boost. He was getting some momentum before his injury. Now he hasn't played the last 3 or 4 weeks. So with him back, with Tannehill there, maybe they could spark something. But for right now, this put the Chiefs at number 1 for me in the power rankings. I'll be honest. Ugly win. Bills lost. Let's put them at number 1 for me.
There's a brand new fantasy app. It's called Boom Fantasy. You got over-unders, player props. You got matchups. This player versus that player. That's personally my favorite, and long shots. You can win 40 times your money. And if I'm not mistaken, Joel, NBA is coming soon.
Yes, sir. NBA will be in the app in the next 10 days or so. Wow. I believe opening night is October 19th, so we'll have stuff up a few days beforehand. That's going to be fun because we have it every night. You don't have to wait till Monday, Thursday.
Did you get your code? For the league pass?
I did get my code
I
for
got
league
my
pass.
code too.
Yep, that's amazing.
That's from 2K, right?
Yes.
That's tough.
Amazing.
That's fire.
So if you guys haven't already, download the Boom Fantasy app right now. Link is in our description or in the caption wherever you're watching.
So in my notes, actually, I have one statement, and it's screw this guy, referring to Patrick Mahomes. He's a savage. He's amazing. He's the best quarterback in the National Football League. It's the truth. To win a game like this, it was basically all because of Patrick Mahomes. I have no problem saying this. He was amazing, flat out. If Patrick Mahomes is not the quarterback of this team, this is a loss guaranteed. But Patrick Mahomes is special, and he does special things. And I'm tired of talking about the Chiefs, and now I'm going to talk about the Titans. You mentioned something about Malik, and you're saying how Ryan Tannehill's job's never been safer. To a degree, I feel where you're coming from. The only reason why I'm a little bit hesitant is that, one, there's no offensive weapons outside of Derrick Henry. Robert Woods really has not been integrated into this offense as much as he probably should be, given his history. Robert Woods is not a scrub, and with the lack of weapons that they do have, you would expect that Robert Woods would have opportunity. You mentioned Treylon Burks, who's coming back from injury. That'll be big for them, but he's been out, and he proved to be they wanted him to be a big part of this offense, and losing him also definitely hurts. But he should be back, and that should be exciting, but for this game specifically, Malik didn't have that option. Malik was at his best when Derrick Henry had the run going. You had to focus primarily on Derrick. And then Malik Willis got it going with the read option and started to get things going. He averaged 5 yards a carry. Malik was very efficient on the ground when he had his opportunity. But it seemed as if, for some reason, there was a shift in the second half where they just stopped running the ball.
The Chiefs, that is?
No,
Or
I'm
the
talking
Titans?
about the Titans, where Derrick Henry only had 17 carries in the first half. It seemed like any time Derrick Henry touched the ball was an explosive play. What I wanted to see more out of the Titans is similarly what we saw out of Justin Fields. You understand what Malik's gifts are. Right now, his legs are his best attribute. Utilize that. You have Derrick Henry, probably the best pure running back in the game. You obviously know the game plan is Derrick Henry is going to get the ball a ton. Malik also has to understand that if I'm going to be effective in this offense, I need to use my legs. And when he did use his legs, the offense got moving. In the first half, we actually saw this offense look relatively decent. Come second half, they couldn't do anything. Come overtime, they couldn't do anything. That's why on 4th and 1, when the Chiefs decided to go for it instead of kicking the field goal, I was kind of scratching my head because the Titans offense couldn't do anything. You kicked that field goal with Harrison Butker, it was basically game over because the offense was doing absolutely nothing second half in OT. Malik was put in a tough spot. That's all I have to say about the Titans in this offense. Derrick Henry is Derrick Henry. He's amazing. The best pure rusher in the National Football League. Chubb is fantastic as well. He's right behind Derrick. There's just no one better than Derrick. But Malik, in this situation specifically, was put in a tough one to succeed, and he did the best that he could, which was not that great, if we're being completely honest.
I look at Malik Willis, and it's obvious he's a raw quarterback right now. He wasn't put in a good position to succeed. They don't have the offensive weapons to air it out, so they have to play conservatively. There was this one play, though, where he had, I think it was Hollister on this wheel, and he just put his head down and tried to scramble, and he could have got a lot of yards on that. They stopped running the ball because it's not that they didn't try, because I know when you look at the numbers, it's like, oh, why didn't they just run the ball more with Derrick Henry? First drive of the second half, they ran the ball. Derrick Henry got 1 yard.
Yep.
Then it's 2nd and long. You have to pass it at that point. 3 and out. Then next drive, they get a field goal, and Derrick Henry gets a carry for 5 yards. 3rd down, they get stopped. They hit a field goal. The third drive, Derrick Henry rushes for 9 yards. It's a penalty. It puts them back at a 1st and 20 situation. So now you have to pass it if you're that far in the down and distance. The 4th drive, Derrick Henry gets the carry again. Malik scrambles. Then on 3rd down, incomplete. Malik pass 3rd and 4. They punt it. Very next drive, they run it with Derrick Henry again for 4 yards. Then for 7 yards. Then they run it again on 1st down with Derrick Henry. They were using Derrick Henry. It's just that I think the Chiefs did a great job at stopping the run in the second half.
No doubt.
Because they knew that, these weapons are nothing special. They're not. Robert Woods, you can say that he's been very good in his career previously, but when he's the number one option, you can key on him. He's not going to be very effective.
I'm with you.
The Titans lack explosive offensive personnel, and for that reason, they're not going to be a legit playoff team. Last season, even when the Titans had A.J. Brown, we knew they were a well-coached team. We knew that they protect the ball. We knew that they play safe. But ultimately, nobody took them seriously. Everybody knew they were a fraudulent first seed. This year, they're going to win the AFC South because the Colts are a mess, the Texans are horrible, and the Jaguars are just too inconsistent. But in the playoffs, the Titans cannot beat any team because their offense, they can't do anything offensively. Everything relies on Derrick Henry. And we've seen Derrick Henry win you games before in the playoffs, but how likely is that to happen once again when you don't have somebody like A.J. Brown who you have to put your attention on? The last time the Titans won in the playoffs, they had Jonnu Smith, A.J. Brown, and Corey Davis. None of those guys are there, and they were huge parts of that offense. To talk about Mahomes, he's special. And we know he's special. And just the most special drive of the game, fourth quarter, 3rd and 17, 7 minutes left. He scrambles for a first down, 20-yard scramble.
Insane play.
Then less than 3 minutes left, 3rd and 9. He scrambles for a touchdown in the red zone. He went on a 13-play, 93-yard touchdown drive, and then a 2-point conversion. He rushes it in himself.
That was annoying, man. That was 2 penalties, and then
the
takes
penalties are
off.
crazy.
Like, come on. Now, the rushing touchdown, I was punching air.
I do think the Chiefs missed Tyreek Hill in this game. He's a phenomenal player. We know that. And it kind of made me wonder, what if they just had Juju with Tyreek Hill? Because Juju is back to being a great receiver again. Yep. He's going to touch 1,000. So is Travis Kelce. This Chiefs offense is legitimately one elite playmaker away from being unstoppable again. Maybe it is Kadarius. He has a different dimension.
Question: Are you out on McCole?
I'm not out on McCole, but I think McCole is who he is.
Well, I feel like these last couple of weeks they've actually tried to integrate him more and more into this offense.
He has been, but is he going to consistently win down the field route? You know what I mean? Like I feel like a lot of that was either screens, jet passes, jet motions, just getting him involved rather than him himself getting open, making things happen.
The reason why I feel like that's a strong possibility is Andy Reid's probably the best play caller in the game, and he can draw plays to get him.
But if we're talking
and
about
McColl's fast enough and explosive, enough
if we're talking about long term for the Chiefs,
no, I know
McColl
what you're
being
saying.
that for this year,
in a contract year. McColl,
he might be.
I think McColl is definitely in a contract.
I think McColl is who he is. They've been doing a better job at implementing his skill set in the offense with the jet sweeps and the motions and stuff like that, the screen passes.
That's his vibe.
But that's who he is. He's one of those guys that in space he can make something happen because he's very fast, but he's not somebody that is going to consistently get open against man coverage.
He saw 9 targets.
That's who Kadarius could be, though. I mean, he wasn't involved a ton, but first play of the game, they got him the ball. They got him the ball again in the red zone.
Week 1 of being on a new team.
With time, but we know Kadarius can win one-on-one man coverage. I mean, we saw last year against Trayvon Diggs, who wasn't the best corner in coverage last year, but this year has turned up and been one of the best all around. Was rounding him up the entire game against Dallas.
Oh, you're done talking?
Yeah.
Okay, I thought you had a long spiel. 17-9 going into the fourth quarter.
Sorry, that was so crazy.
Bro, I'm sorry.
No, I had it up.
Oh, you wanted to hear something?
No, I didn't.
Oh,
I had it on Do Not Disturb. I figured out how to do it now.
Nice.
Happy.
Thank you. 17-9 going into the fourth quarter. Pretty much replicating everything you guys said. Unfortunately, I hate to be the last guy to go. But the AFC South is pretty much going to produce the worst team in the AFC playoffs. Let's just cut it out. It's either the Colts if they pull a magical comeback or the Titans, the Jaguars if they would have did it. They're going to pull out the worst team. And realistically, the Titans can't beat nobody. Derrick Henry is who he is. He can have those best running back in the league performances. But at the end of the day, we all said it. They don't have any offensive weapons. You saw that in the fourth quarter with the Chiefs. They have Kelce. They have Patrick Mahomes. On the other end, the Titans don't. They have Derrick Henry, but they don't have even if you get Ryan Tannehill back, is he that type of guy?
I'm really hoping that Treylon can come back from injury.
But is Treylon that guy?
We'll see. He definitely had.
He was all right, but he's not I still in the playoffs going in. I don't think he still can be that guy just yet.
No, I'm with you. But
hopefully, but not.
He's not Chris Olave.
He's going crazy.
He's not Chris Olave.
He's not. But I'm saying he's
not.
not.
Say that for Chris Olave, but not Garrett Wilson.
Because Garrett Wilson, we know that.
Garrett Wilson ain't Chris Olave though.
But Chris Olave isn't the obvious name.
They're neck and neck.
They are. Yeah, I mean, no.
Olave's been fantastic.
Olave's been better statistically. The eye test, Garrett Wilson is just insane.
my
Is
guy.
that wrong to
Olave.
say?
That's my
Olave?
guy.
That's
Yeah,
not wrong
Olave.
to
I like
say.
him. I like him. I watched him like twice.
What am I saying that's wrong there, Joel? I'm giving
I didn't
credit
say
where
anything
credit
was
is due.
wrong.
You
I
give
Isn't
me
he
a
lead-
look.
he's
I
leading
didn't say
all
nothing
rookies
was
in
wrong.
yards?
Yes.
Yeah, nah,
interceptions.
Olave's been amazing, and deep down the field, Olave is a burner. We knew this,
Great
but
route
Garrett
runner.
Wilson
He's
is
dog.
just super meticulous with his
Invest.
footwork.
Best.
Yeah. Oh,
We're getting
okay,
somewhere,
okay,
Joe.
okay.
Invest.
Um,
You think Jets, Titans? I got Jets.
I got Jets.
I just feel like Treylon
There's-
is just
I'm
an
gonna be-
added piece that the Titans just need anything at
Desperately,
this
they
point.
need
I'm gonna be
Next
honest.
Time.
There's probably like 8 teams I'd pick in AFC over Titans.
Titans.
Not even teams that won't make the playoffs. Like the
Take
Bengals.
the Patriots.
Oof.
I feel like that's a pretty
It's like
even,
neck and neck.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
exactly.
Patriots defense.
'Cause the Bengals gonna make the playoffs. What are we talking-
The
you know?
Patriots are number 1 in defensive DVOA.
Bro,
See?
Belichick is
Doesn't
crazy.
miss. It doesn't miss.
The Bengals are in
And
right now.
I heard conversation. I think
Yeah, they
Joy
are.
Taylor
Are they
was
not?
talking
I
about
don't
it. They're
think so.
saying how
I think so.
Belichick's an
I think they're
average
like the
coach
17.
without Tom Brady. Just like what,
Win-loss record probably, but
what
coach
he's
no.
doing with this roster, it's horrible.
Yeah.
They're the
But that's a good. It's a good headline.
yeah. That's why
definitely
I
is a good
hate. That's
headline.
she got me. She got me
She did.
talking about it. So there it is.
Josh Allen is 2-7 his career in one possession games. I know this
Just
isn't
wanted
a
to throw
Josh
that in
Allen
there.
topic, but I mean the reason why
They are not in right now.
the Bengals.
They're
All
not
right,
in.
I see how you're going to correlate this.
Yeah, exactly. Patrick Mahomes wins 60% of his games when he's down by 10 or more points. Right? Josh Allen's 2-7 in one possession games. I think
It's neck and neck.
earlier in the season, I haven't checked recently, but early in the season, Mahomes and Josh Allen's fourth quarter numbers, Josh Allen was better. But in these close games, I mean, I trust the Chiefs. That's why I think they're the 1 seed. That's why I picked them going
Well,
to the Super Bowl this last
Mahomes
episode.
might be better now. Josh just flopped the other day.
Yeah,
So
I mean,
Mahomes-
Josh and Mahomes are 1A, 1B, however you want to slice it. But in terms of just straight
And where do you have
talent,
two in there?
huh?
Is in two?
He's not in that tier. No, he's
No.
the Mahomes and Allen tier.
you have to stop. It's
Enough
is enough.
The numbers are the numbers.
Enough is enough.
It's okay. If you want to put him in that second tier, go crazy. But Mahomes and Allen are very, very
What's
special
the second tier? Like Herbert and shit?
Herbert, Burrow.
Come on.
Statistically,
Be for
Tua's
real.
there.
Be for real.
He's not as good as them, but statistically,
So
he's
we
there.
putting Hurts in there?
Yes.
Statistically,
Rocket launcher.
but again,
And Lamar.
like eye test.
Lamar, of course. Lamar's Lamar.
But right now, like I know you guys are all on the Bills, right? You had this Jordan season. You have them going to the Super Bowl. I think you did as well.
He's literally losing the MVP on his own. He's doing it to himself at this point.
I mean, we're gonna get into the Jets later, so I don't want to get into it. But right now, just the Chiefs being able to win these close games. Mahomes does it every single year. That's really been the epitome of his career, coming back from these 10+ point deficits, winning close games. They're special, man. We saw it again.
Jets are 4-0 on the road. That's
What did I do to
Road dogs.
deserve this? What
Because-
did I do to deserve
And
this?
guess